do? What it do? It's your boy Q, and welcome on into the Edgewood College Esports Twitch channel here. We've got ourselves a busy slate, a very full day of Rocket League. We got three different matchups, one at the top of each hour here. And we'll be starting with some WEC action against University of Wisconsin-Madison. Then we're going to be playing against Columbia College for some ECAC action. It's going to be the first week as far as for ECAC. And then we'll be winding things down against NTC, making up for our game on Monday. That's some more WEC action. So kind of hopping back and forth between the two. Currently, right now, when we're talking about WEC play here for the Edgewood Eagles, sitting at 4-1 going into the double session for the day. So pretty solid semester going so far. Going to be interested to see, especially with having the back-to-back up matchups here today, how they're going to be able to fare during that. And of course, ECAC going to be kicking things off today. I always feel like week number one's a good way to be able to kind of put yourself off to like a hot start when it comes to a semester. The good news as far as for the Eagles, as far as when it comes to WEC play, they're looking good. Hopefully they can carry that thing over into that matchup against the Fighting Koalas there. So as far as for today, again, going to be a pretty busy day. Three matchups. All of our matchups going to be best of 5 here as well. It's your first time through hanging out with us over on the Edgewood College Esports Twitch channel. Make sure you hit that follow button, turn those notifications on. Like I said before, I am your boy Q. I will be hanging on board with you for all three matchups here on the day. We should be able to get things started here relatively soon with UW Madison here in just a couple of minutes. I know that we've got all of our players, I believe, all loaded in here, kind of waiting for last people get loaded in as far as the lobby itself. So give us just another minute or two, and we'll be back getting ready to kick off with game number one. All right, let's go ahead and get on into it. Game number one here, as we try and get things ready to get kicked off, as it is gonna be more game number one is always more of a feeler game, but Timmy gonna be able to find that very first goal, not but 22 seconds into game number one. This is the way that you're able to get things started off and get it started off right. I feel like whenever you talk about game ones, getting that first point up on the board, getting the monkey off the back, right? You're able to do that with that first minute and a half, then it's time to cook. Timmy already feeling the confidence after that first goal, takes to the sky. Well, as far as for the control to be moved down here by Edgewood. Gonna be trying to flip the field here as Raider. Tricky tries to slide that thing on in. Fishy off the rebound, and within about another half a minute, we're all tied up at 1. concerned about that here just quite yet. If I'm the Eagles, sometimes, when you flip the pitch in a fashion like that, if you aren't able to send those blocked shots towards the side of the field and you allow for those just to kind of dribble right up in front of the net, it can be a very dangerous situation. Timmy's going to have a wide open field here if they're going to be able to get the control and get past Timmy. Takes to the back wall, pass off here to Slippery Noodle. Unfortunately, though, going to get contested and that ball gets sent back towards the 50-yard line. Catalanner is going to lose the control of the ball here, which does cause the Eagles to have to retreat back to the defensive end. Nice save coming across here from Pink Catalanner. Now it's Timmy looking to flip the pitch, flip the script, passes it off to Pink Catalanner, who's going to be able to punch it in from distance. And the Eagles going to go up by 1. Takes teamwork to make the dream work, and you love to see when it's like poetry in the motion. When it comes to flipping the field like that. They were the first ones on the board. They did concede an equalizer within the next 30 seconds, so it's going to be up to the Eagles here to now try and hold the line. We are sitting at 3 shots on either side of the field, so both teams have had a couple of cracks at it. Right now it is the Badgers who are looking to try and find some way to set up shop on the offensive half. Fishy keeps it alive, but Timmy jumps on up, jumps the lane. Now it's Pink Catalanner with the 50. Not exactly a shot, but it does keep the pressure moved forward here for the Eagles. Pink Catalanner going to be the last line of defense. It's going to be able to send it back to the midfield line, but unfortunately lands pretty well right back in front of Tricky. Wide open net. Passes it forward to Fishy, who's going to be able to dunk that thing on home. We're 12 seconds shy of that halftime in game number 1, and we are all tied up at 2. Eagles have been kept at that 3-shot marker here for about a minute of play. Timmy, I think, was looking for a pass to Slippery Noodle, but Slippery Noodle already committed to the rotation back on the defensive end, and for good reason. We have seen the Badgers have shown the ability to strike quickly when it comes to flipping the field. Raider finds the Kablamo. Tricky past 1. But Timmy's going to be able to find the demo itself. Past 1. Flick over past the 3rd defender. And Timmy, just built different. Timmy with quite the performance right now. Doing a little bit of everything. 2 goals, 1 assist, 1 save. Leading the way here for the Eagles. 2 minutes left. The question becomes, can they keep this lead? Slippery Noodle's going to find one off the pass from Pink Catalanner. And they take this lead and double it down. Starts with the 50 being won from Pink Catalanner. Ball drops right down there onto the hood of Slippery Noodle. Punches it on home. Now with that extra security blanket of that second goal there in a row, you're going to be feeling pretty solid as you do enter into the final 100 seconds of game number 1. Ball popped off and left for Timmy. He's going to slot it right down the pipe. And it's now a 3-goal lead. Meaning now for the Badgers, if they were to look for the comeback, you would need a goal every 30 seconds. It's not going to be a 4th goal as they continue to move the ball forward. Does look like they've got a DC, but I do believe within the rule set itself, it does say to play things out. I think we'll have to take a look at that as far as in the background here. as far as playing it forward, which I feel is like what I've tended to see across a couple different leagues. We'll have to obviously look into this, the rule set here for WEC. I think the good news, at least as far as when you are on the side of the Eagles here, one, you already had the lead before the disconnect. It was also pretty far into the game as well. Can't blame the players for wanting to continue to put the pedal down to the metal as well as the three. Taking a quick gaze at the real rule book here, so give us just a moment while they do get that figured out, chat. But hopefully everyone's been doing well as far as in the fall semester thus far. Crazy to think that we're already a week into October. If y'all already have your costume ideas, let us know in chat. Again, we do appreciate your patience as we do figure out in the background, especially as we are still waiting on our third player back here for the Badgers as well. Hasn't been able to find a way to reconnect. You figure for this extra time here, though, if you are on the side of the Eagles, you got yourself the lead. You try and just protect the mental, keep the vibes high. You know what I mean? Especially knowing that this is the start of a triple header on the day. Final couple seconds of game number one are going to play out. It's going to finalize the score here. It's going to show a score of 8-3, but of course, at the end of the day, the score of game number one becomes irrelevant as soon as all of our players hit to the pitch again for game number two. You know what I mean? Looking to see if they are able to take advantage of a sub. I don't know if they've got a sub currently in the lobby here. And it looks like, as far as from what they're saying within the chat, unfortunately, it does look like they suffered a outage at the apartment complex. So unfortunate. I guess they got going on. Otherwise, since there's nothing in the rule book, I would imagine just play it out as a duo would be the way to kind of move forward if you are over on the side of the Badgers. Unfortunate. You know what I mean? Especially as far as to start off the evening. I wonder if they're in a situation kind of like the Eagles where they got themselves a couple of matchups on the day. Hopefully they can get their internet issues resolved. We had mentioned at the top of things before we got kicked off with our first matchup of the day. Again, we've got 3 matchups over here as far as on the day. Playing against UW-Madison. I see they're still having conversations as far as the sub in the background. But then after this, we're going to be playing against the Fighting Koalas from Columbia College to kick off our ECAC season. And then at 8 p.m. Central Time, we've got NTC as our third game for the day. For confirmation in the back, it does look like, as far as since they are looking to bring in the players, no chance of a reset as far as when the score happened or when the disconnect happened. So the official score is going, or the official result is going to be the Eagles taking game number 1. A sub's going to come across here now for the Badgers. Does look like they just joined the lobby here now. So we'll be back to full 3 versus 3 here, heading into game number 2. Again, I did say at the end of game number 1, the score of game number 1 essentially becomes irrelevant because the scoreboard now reflects zeros on either side and 5 minutes left on the clock. So for the Eagles, they look to try to put themselves in the driver's seat early once more. The back pass is Slippery Noodle, who fields this thing right around the midfield line. The one thing that we had seen the Eagles doing a very good job of early in game number 1 before the disconnect was keeping the pressure forward in the offensive zone. While the stat line might have showed that it was pretty equal as far as the shot counter, it felt like the field control as well as the ball control had to have favored the Eagles just a little bit there. Bars in the first minute of play in game number 2, however, the first strike on the scoreboard is going to be in favor of UW-Madison. Off a beautiful read here from Fishy. Pass came across from Raider. It's now going to be up to the Eagles to respond. Plenty of time on the clock here, though. 4 minutes, 17 seconds. Tried to take to the sky, wasn't able to complete it off with the goal here, but as far as for now, they do still keep the control. It's Timmy rising up to the sky. Fishy's going to send it back towards the midfield line. And we've seen a couple of individual plays towards the net. It's a rebound back towards Slippery Noodle, which will allow for the Eagles to tie things up. And it's just over a minute of play here in game number 2. Catalan off the dish from the kickoff, moves forward and slowly walks this thing on down. Slippery Noodle going to be able to slide up under one. Timmy, the pass back towards the middle of the field. No dice. However, the Eagles still got the pressure. Raider looking to rise on up. Timmy challenges and wins the 50. And Aaron and the rest of the squad here for the Badgers have struggled to get out of their defensive half. They have an opportunity here. Raider with a little doinker that's easily saved and gathered up here by Pink Catalan. Sends it back to the midfield line where Fishy picks the pocket and looks to send the offense back forward. That shot's going to sail wide. The demo allows Fishy to regather the control in the corner. Timmy looking for the clear and going to be able to do just that. Closing in here on that midway point in game number 2. And thus far, the Eagles have been able to find twice the output when we talk about shot counter. Thought that pass was going to open things up, especially with the demo there from Slippery Noodle. But unfortunately, losing the control right around the midfield line. Going to be able to find the relief valve. At least sends it down towards the other side. Timmy going to be able to steal the boost. 2 minutes left here, and they continue to keep the pressure down forward. It's been a while since we have seen the Badgers really be able to set things up down on the offensive half. Everyone might have got caught forward. Timmy's up in the sky. Shots get sent on the target. And it's Raider with the save. Raider finds the second as well off the shot from Catalan. And they're going to continue to pepper the net. Raiders going to need to send this thing wayward. But it's fielded here by Pink Catalan. Looking for the freestyle play. Over one. Stalls it underneath the second. No one there to bang it home for the Eagles. The possession's still on their side, though. Timmy bang just like that from outside the key. And the Eagles find the lead with 81 seconds left to play. Eagles have looked good here, especially with the way that they've been able to turn things around. The Badgers still sitting on the 3 lone shots. Meanwhile, with that shot finding the post, and then the follow-up there, which does find the lace, that's now 12 of them things when we're talking about shots here for the Eagles. As the offense is able to absolutely soar here in game number 2. They're out of the woodwork just quite yet. 70 seconds is definitely plenty of time here for the Badgers to be able to turn things around, but it feels like if the Badgers were to do that, they would need the first here relatively soon, and as for now, they are struggling to get out of their half. Catalander does a good job with a 50. Sends it back towards the corner where Slippery Noodle's being a pest. Timmy stepping up around the midfield line. The redirect as well. All right, Timmy, we see you. Absolutely filthy for the hat trick here. Put that thing on a highlight reel as Timmy, built different. Slippery Noodle off the kickoff, trailing behind ever so slightly. And it's now 5-1. We had talked about the potential of a comeback just about 60 seconds ago of gameplay. Now with it being 5-1, the Badgers would really just like to get something cooking heading into game number 3. Because the offense hasn't quite been there. The defense, well, kind of the same story as well. The Eagles do seem to have all the answers, looking to try to move to 5-1. WEC play for the 2024 fall semester. Once that ball touches the ground, they're now officially 1 game away from being able to say just that. We talked about it being a potential busy day over here. As far as for the Eagles Rocket League squad, if you can start things off in the first series by being able to get it done 1, 2, 3 in succession just like that, it's a nice jump start of things. Not only because it makes for a shorter night, but then obviously the vibes get high. Momentum starts to become a friend of yours, especially if you can step out in your ECAC debut for the 2024 fall semester as well. But let's not get ahead of ourselves just quite yet. We still got to make sure to be able to complete this series against the Badgers and try and see if they can do so in 3 straight games. Looking for the sweep here. Let's get down to it. Timmy able to get it under 1 defender, but Raider sends it back towards the midfield line. Slippery Noodle loses the 50 to Fishy. But Timmy grabs it off the back wall, gets it over everybody. Not sure if they were looking for a pass off the midfield wall or if the thought process there was to follow it up. Regardless, though, control briefly going to be over in favor of the Badgers, and it's going to be Aaron. Aaron, you're going to strike first for the Badgers. 33 seconds is all it takes. First time we've seen the Badgers take a lead in this series. I do believe. I'm trying to think back to game number 1. I'm pretty sure the Eagles struck first. Regardless, though, when we talk about the here and now, with the confidence that they should have after the first 2 games, and while you could try and maybe have some copium, talk about the DC in game number 1, when the full 3 was out there in game number 2, it was the Eagles' pitch. And the Badgers just happened to be playing on it. Fishy looks to try and relieve the pressure here for the Badgers. Looking for a back pass to Super Noodle. It's a dangerous situation here. No gas in the tank. The pass on over to Aaron. And they're able to take this lead for the Badgers and double it down. Still plenty of time here, though, in game number 3 if you are the Eagles looking for that sweep. Especially if you find a first goal here relatively soon. Timmy was looking to enter into some dangerous space, but the defense steps up to the task. And now it's Raider trying to follow it up to keep the pressure here moved forward for the Badgers. It's almost equally become a opposite story of what we've seen thus far in this series. Before, it's been the Badgers who were struggling to get out of their defensive half, and it was all Eagles putting the pressure on. Here in game 3, it's been a little bit different. It has been the Badgers who have been able to find the success on the offensive half. Of course, the last 45 minutes or so have been spent on the blue half of the pitch. Slippery Noodle looking for a potential pass over here to Pink Cattle Lantern. And that one works exactly how they drew it up. They take this lead, cut it in half. And speaking of halves, we got a whole nother half left to play in game 3. Gotta feel like a little bit of the pressure gotta be relieved there after being able to at least find the first here. If you are the Eagles. But you cannot settle. You have demonstrated the ability to push the pace and be able to control the pace of this series through the first 2.5 games. Can you do it when it matters most? When it comes to clutching it out. The last thing that you would want to do is allow for that momentum to flip hands. With the late comeback here for the Badgers, and heaven forbid the Badgers take game 4 as well. Still going to be just the 1-goal lead as we do enter the potential last 100 seconds of play. Of course, if it is going to be the final 100 seconds of play, we do have to find this ball cleared to the other side. We still need at least 1 more goal just to force an overtime. Nice read by Timmy, wins the 50. Ball goes low. Then with the mistouch, I would say here from the Badgers, this ball's gonna be floating in a dangerous spot in front of the goal. Fishy's gonna be able to find the demo. It's Pink Cattle Lantern. Rises on up. As it was Timmy who was able to set up their teammate. And 60 seconds left to play. We're all tied up at 2. One thing that we have seen here thus far for the Eagles is feels like anyone can strike at any time. Timmy was popping off earlier. Here in game number 3, it seems to be Pink Cattle Lantern's turn to lead things forward. Rebound, Timmy punches it home. And as much as it might have felt like for the Badgers that they finally started to have some answers and they may have been looking to extend this series, they now need 1 goal just to simply force an overtime. Eagles are going to be looking to win this thing in 3 straight. The couple ammo comes across from Timmy. Aaron with the shot. It's going to get saved. Now the squad from the Badgers has to retreat back to the defensive end. Slippery Noodle slides the ball on forward. Pink Cattle Lantern double touch, sends it off the back wall. Now going to look for a potential pass to the middle of the field. Can't get caught too far forward. If you are the Eagles here, final 6 seconds of play. You've only got the 1-goal lead. Timmy going to be able to find the bump. Now he's just gonna find this ball down onto the ground, and there it is. It's official. The brooms get busted out here in our first of our 3 series over on the Edgewood Eagles Twitch channel here for our Rocket League. It's a long day of esports over here. And man, oh man, yeah, we saw the Badgers be able to make some adjustments moving into game number 3. Made that a little bit harder fought of a matchup. But at the end of the day, they tried so hard and got so far. In the end, it just didn't even matter. So it is going to be a sweep here for the Edgewood Eagles, moving up to 5-1 in WEC play. We'll see if they can make that 6-1 here in just a little bit. But we mentioned at the top of the show, we're kind of jumping back and forth between a couple of conferences to play. It's week number 1 for the ECAC. We are going to be seeing the Edgewood Eagles squaring off against the Fighting Koalas. That's going to be taking place here at the top of the hour. So thanks to the sweep in series number 1, probably going to be a little bit longer of a break. Go grab yourself a quick drink of water, grab yourself a snack, and we'll be back once we got our players loaded in, and we'll be bringing that series to kick off ECAC play right after a break.
Times, the shots that y'all are taking. One too many times that I've been stuck patient on my downfall. Antidote seeking while I was vacant, but the crown falls simply to those who try to take it. One shot to get 2 paid, and my 3 wet like lemonade. 4 times and I step back to reload and I let it spray. This is everything that I need, everything that I wanted, everything that I bleed. This is victory and I got it, cause I'm here now. Waiting for the flag. Waiting. Streams of light, something familiar. Do you remember the love of the blinding light? A flash of clarity to become one. Now that dawn has yet to come. But in the fading wind, I heard 1,000 dreams collide. Will you make it back again? Will you make it back again?
Like the shore, I'm holding on, diving into my motion. Hear me cry, tears are falling from the sky. Don't give in, sometime we'll get up and fly. The waves come crashing down, stand up, don't fall and drown. There's no moment. All it takes is a moment. Is it fate that you came this far unbroken? If it's destiny, you wrote it. Focused, but you gotta be focused. Make or break, it's the last goodbye they remember you for. They're calling your name, go and take what's yours. Here, now, it's everything you've been dreaming about. There's a reason why you were chosen. This is your moment. Rise up, you give it all that you got and you rise up. All the stories that tell about the champion who came from the crown. Are you ready to carry it now? Going full speed, never stop, never quit. You're the only one you got to convince that nothing's too far out of your reach. 'Cause all you are is what you believe. Here, now, it's everything you've been dreaming about. There's a reason why you were chosen. This is your moment. You've seen me here before, above the mountain tops. With every step I take, I show the world what I got. I feel alive again. I feel like it's a new chance. Free from the wasteland, and I've got nowhere to be, so I'm waiting. I don't need a rush, I'm patient. However long it takes, I'll be there one day. Hey. Eternal, I'm alive and chasing whatever it is I'm facing. I can't walk away. There's so much left to say. Hey. Our story never has to end. Eternal, I'm alive again. We don't know what will happen tomorrow, but I hope a good surprise. I could flip all the time that I borrowed and make another life. You can break my stride. There's a palace in my mind, made of light, and it shows. Yeah, yeah. The stars are falling, skies are raining gold. Yeah, yeah. Forever I'm free, that's what could be. So I'm waiting. I
Won't you come over? Dying to know where you came from. We're breaking open. Feel like your future's just begun. And all I know is that we lost time. If we stay right here, we could free ourselves in.
I see just my camera. I don't see nothing. Real quick. All right, let's go ahead and get on down into it here. Sorry about that. So we got right on into our second series of the day. We talked about it before the break. This is going to be getting started with our ECAC season, week number 1. Against Columbia College, the Fighting Koalas. Fighting Koalas will be out here on the pitch over on that blue side. They will be the ones who strike first here as well, as it's Phantom who's able to scoop and score this thing, picks it up and takes it all the way down to the other side of the field. Looking back to that first series here, as far as what got things kicked off for the Eagles, was lighting up the scoreboard early, and they're going to be able to find an early response here, so tying things up before we even have a minute expired in game number 1. Let's see if they can find that same sort of success later on in game number 1 that allowed them to really go full throttle in that first series on the day. Ball on forward here off the kickoff. Slippery Noodle, I think, was trying to gather things up for a back pass to Timmy. Timmy has the big boost. Loses the 50 here to Phantom, but Team Catalan is going to be able to field the control off the back wall. Lurks the last one. Last line of defense past the Phantom. With a Timmy, a 1, a 2. Back to Timmy. Was looking for the dunk on down. A little bit of a mistouch here, but you still have to pressure forward. First 90 seconds of play here, and the Eagles have been able to find 5 shots as opposed to the 2 here from the Fighting Koalas. Now off the rebound, Timmy looks for the shot. That's going to sail just a tad bit high. Here from the pocket with the bump as well, gathers the control. Bruce was able to jump in, finds the save. The pressure valve is found by Phantom. Does that mean the Fighting Koalas will be able to set up shop down here on the opposite side of the pitch? Spend a little bit of time on the offensive half. Finds the demo. Would have been a little bit of room in front of that. He's been able to find the gather. Halfway through game number 1 here. Still tied up at one. Something to win the redirect. Cattle Lantern was looking for the double tap off the backboard. To no avail. Soft high for Timmy. Pass back to the middle here. Slippery Noodle. Isn't quite going to be able to find his mark. We had mentioned earlier about the shot disparity. Still going to be in favor of the Eagles here. 8 shots they've been able to put on target, as opposed to a lone 2 shots. Have been found for the Fighting Koalas. Pass to the center. Able to find it. Cattle Lantern got enough. Sends it high. Or should I say, sorry, sends it low. It's sent aside. Have a wide open field. Yeah, I thought Dirk just about fumbled the bag and was sent that up off the post. Would have been a huge break for the Eagles if that would have been the case. The third shot, though, is going to find the second goal. Also finds a lead once more here for the Fighting Koalas. not necessarily winning. That was going to be a good opportunity. And then even after that, if Timmy would have been able to read it, ball came dribbling out right towards the middle of the field. Pink Catalina passed off to Timmy. That shot's high. Follow-up gonna hit the post here as well. Just a little heartbreaking here for the Eagles. Timmy's gonna be able to register the save. Now gathers the ball on the sidewalk. Flicks it up towards the middle. Catalina, unfortunately, a little bit too far behind him. Be able to find a shot on that trip. Boosh now the opposite side. Shot come across. Pink Catalina with the save. The Eagles, they gotta find a way to flip the pitch, flip the strip. 10 seconds left. Pink Noodle, sorry, Slippery Noodle, looking for Pink Cantaloupe. Catalina. Pink Catalina, unable to dial it up off the shot from the pass. That does mean that game number 1 here is going to go in favor of the Fighting Koalas, despite the fact that we did see that the Eagles here for Edgewood were able to outshoot the opposition by a pretty significant margin. 11 shots as opposed to the 5. I mean, maybe if you're a fan of statistics, law of averages says that if the Eagles here for Edgewood can continue putting that much pressure onto the net, they should be able to start finding a little bit more success. But it is a best of 5 series, so if game number 2 also doesn't work out in your favor, all of a sudden you could be in a little bit of trouble. Feels like this first is 60 to 90 seconds going to be oh so important for this Edgewood squad. Would like to find themselves a goal, maybe 2. Or shot. Trying to at least clear things up and then push into the offensive half, but as for now, it's been the Fighting Koalas still with the control. Demo there, though, might be some open space. Timmy with the double tap. About here. First 60 to 90 seconds. We're going to be able to strike first blood. Can the Eagles even be able to double down from there? Just like a little bit of assurance goal from number 2 forward. Zerks finds the double demo. No one really does sense the players back from the Eagles match their lawn, but boost. Now we can play downhill and figure out the direction going. Really a bad thing here in the offensive end. Their teams can't capitalize by putting them in quick. Perfect example of moving the field quickly. Timmy gets another crack at it. Gets sent back to the corner. Bam! A flick of the wrist. Puts it up over the defender. Tied up in 1. Well, plenty of time here. Just a minute 18 expired. Timmy, second touch off the kickoff. Towards the net, was able to pinch it very fiercely across the goal line, but no one anywhere near close enough upfield to be able to capitalize. Demo here. Shot coming in from Timmy. Bang, just like that. Second goal. And Timmy right now leading the charge here for the Edgewood Eagles. Looks like it's necessary. Would love to see the bounce back. Back to the offensive half as 3 for Zerk. Gonna find the clear pass over to Boosh. the big moving touches, nothing that's really threatening towards the net. In that shot, although it might have been the direction of the net, could easily fielded. Fighting Koala's team that cooked up something better than that. They're going to want to find a way to tie things back up once more. Shot across here from Slippery Noodle. Good read from Zerk to be able to find the save. And then Zerk's off that pinch here as well. Gets the ball deep down to the other side. Timmy giving up that ball. Hands down low, picking up Slippery Noodle. Oh no, not like this. Unfortunate. Going to be allowing a second goal here, of course, with 2 minutes and 6 seconds left on the clock. The fact that it is still simply just a tie. I don't think you're worried about President Panic, but I don't think just quite yet. Columbia College did take game number 1. They find a way to somehow seal the deal and take game number 2. And all of a sudden, looking down the barrel of the reverse sweep. Yeah, say that it's easier in best of 5 while the statistics can show that it's true. I don't think I've ever wanted to put myself in a position where I'm being the field here from Timmy. Threatening look, but it is loose and finds the save. Free Noodle gets one. That's going to be off the top. Oh, Timmy off the rebound. And with less than 70 seconds left to play, it's going to be the Edgewood Eagles in the lead once more. That's going to be the big question. You can find a security goal on this trip down the field. That would be nice. Pass to Slippery Noodle. That's going to come off the side here. And maybe now got caught with everyone too far forward, especially when Dan was trying to demo on Timmy, a forward, the most backward rotating player. Look at that, 3 players all picked up. Not a single defender in sight. On the replay, 51 seconds left, all tied up to 3. And still too close to call it. Good look at it. Pressure pushed forward and off of the rebound, but things will be clear for now. Oh, Slippery Noodle! What happens here? Maybe a little bit of a miscommunication on the side of Columbia College. Both players kind of tucked away from it at last second. But that's a costly mistake, as it is going to give the Eagles a lead here with 22 seconds left to play. Catalan as well off the kickoff, rising on up. The double tap, not going to be able to find it. Slippery Noodle looking to jump in goal from there, but can't. Final seconds expire here in game number 2. Let's get ready to run things back and reset everything here. This best of 5 officially becomes a best of 3. Whoever's going to be able to make whatever adjustments are needed here, as this has been a tug of war back and forth. Whoever's going to be able to make the adjustments here heading into game number 3 puts themselves in a quite favorable position. But you can hear the crowd. They want more. Timmy leading the charge once more here for the Eagles. 3 goals, 1 assist, 2 saves as well. tied or leading in all three of those categories. I feel like another thing that stands out to me is the amount of shots. 5 more shots over on the side of the Edgewood Eagles. As much as we had seen a little bit of pressure from Columbia College, it just didn't seem to cook it up to perfection. Let's go ahead and see if they can make the adjustments that they need to here in game number 3. Hit it out to the pitch. 5 minutes back on the clock. Let's get down to it. Middle, dropping it on target. That's going to sail a tad bit high and a tad bit wide. Timmy with the gather and the dribble and the shot as well to move as the pressure kept forward here some more. Wide open opportunity there. I like the second effort from Catalan. Be able to get things moved forward. Gets it over there. And Timmy just has a wide open net. All he's got to do at that point is simply tap that thing on in. By here as far as for Edgewood, and they're going to find a second as Pete Catalan does a great job of moving upfield to help support Timmy. I feel like too also Timmy, I don't want to say being the unsung hero, because it does feel like we've talked about the praise of each of the 3 players as the days gone along. Being able to cut this lead down into 2 here is going to be Columbia College. Boosh. Able to dunk it on, oh, sorry, cuts it to 1. I can math, I promise. Jumps here, double tap, maybe, no, not gonna be able to find it. He finds the demo, which does seem as far as on the side of Columbia College. They have to be worrying about a quick rotation down to the opposite side of the field. Just about 2 minutes into game number 3 here. Still the 2-1 scoreline. Back like they never left. Ooh, tries to close the gap. Finds the demo. The rest of the squad isn't really able to do much with it. We talk about how valuable demo is, usually because you're able to make something of it. And that doesn't simply create its own value. Timmy here creates their own value by finding a 3rd goal, swooping it up under 1, putting it on their hood and being able to slam it on home. What a play. Halfway through game number 3 here, up by 2. Is Edgewood. stepping on in, Timmy. I like too what we're seeing from Edgewood. It just seems like the pressure has been shifting. Now playing faster here as well. Lantern looking to advance this thing in the corner and look to move towards the middle of the field. Had an opportunity towards the net, but couldn't quite capitalize. And now it's 80 seconds left to play. Shot coming across the city though. Again, it's more pressure that's come across. Over on the side of this Edgewood College. They spent so much time, the Eagles have. Down here on this side of the field, this next shot is going to officially be shot number 12. Oh, Timmy's one on. Look at all the pressure that comes across here for Edgewood. The good news for Edgewood, despite the fact they don't find a goal, they don't need one. They have themselves a 2-goal lead. For them, they just have to continue to play keep away. They can continue to do that here for these final 22 seconds. They'll be able to put themselves on series point. Drop, big shot there at the end, potential. He would have been able to find that. Although I would imagine the 3-1 here is already going to be a big motivation builder over on that Eagle side. But if you would find that last one, that would have been just a whole nother level. Look. Going best of 7 for the ECAC. That is my fault on that. But Timmy having quite the performance. 2 goals, 9 shots. Talk about the ability to continue to pepper the net. Putting pressure down on the offensive side. You wonder as far as for the side of Columbia College, what adjustments need to be made for them if they want the Eagles to not have so much pressure, because that last game was really a different story from what we saw from even really compared to the first two. Even the game that we did see the Eagles win, didn't feel like they had that dominant of a pressure in the offensive half. Well, let's go ahead and get down to it. Again, it is best of 7 action here. Edgewood College halfway there, living on more than a prayer. Rather than later, Lantern, shot on the target, hits the post, doesn't get the shooter's roll. Soft rip here from the opening kickoff. Eagles have done a good job to keep themselves playing downhill. They never even really had to back into that defensive setup at all. Maybe the midfield line is going time. They need to get farther than that. That's gonna it doesn't drop in though. And now it's Bush's opportunity to try and flip the field. Assistance here as Phantom rises up. That shot's gonna be on the target. Big Lantern almost gets there. And you can see at the start of the replay had to rotate all the way back, gets the big pad. Not quite able to put themselves in the right position. Columbia College going to be in the lead here. Of course, big news for them. It's basically win or go home. But 3.5 minutes left. Edgewood have plenty of time. You don't have to press the panic button just quite yet. That's going to be a demo on the goalie there. The kablamo whammo combo. Sparked up by Slippery Noodle. The Pink Cattle Lantern just simply has to find the easy touch onto the ball. That's got to be a little frustrating. For the Fighting Koalas. It just feels like you're getting pushed around. Trying to look for the clear here. No, Zerks can't find it. And, well, yeah, it's tied up here. Man, there's still so much time to be had. Definitely too early to call it. And you can look at the score lines as far as if you want. But, hey, I mean, woo! Timmy, let's actually leave that thought aside for now. Timmy, who else but Timmy, who's been the catalyst for this squad so many times here this evening, going to be able to do it once more, flipping the sides of the field. And now with the lead, they got to be feeling at least a little decent opportunity to double it down. No, not going to be able to do so there. And right now, you can continue to just play keep away if you are Edgewood College. You figure one more game gets you one game away. And you're looking pretty solid as for now. Just got to continue to hold the line for these final 2 minutes. No one's rotating back though. Open net potential. Timmy gonna be able to find it. Rising up as well. Shot's gonna be on target. And Timmy finds it. 107 seconds left on the clock here in game number 5. In Edgewood, firmly in control. Huh. Interesting here. We've seen kind of the slowdown. Feels like Columbia College has slowly started to make some adjustments. But this is game number 4 right now. Opportunity to add a 4th goal. Pink Cattle Lantern shot's gonna be on target. And touch up allows them to keep the pressure forward. 65 seconds. And it's gonna be a challenge for Columbia College because even if you find one, it's 2 that's needed just to force an overtime. Man, every time we do see the squads trying to work their way out of the defensive half when we talk about for the Fighting Koalas, even if they get down into the offensive half, it's not very long. The defense here for the Eagles doing a fantastic job. Noodle gonna try and flip the field here quickly. Zerk's gonna be the last line of defense. Stops this opportunity. But they're still on the defensive half. And again, in case you heard me saying earlier, best of 5s, that was for our WEC action, which started the day and will also end the day. But as far as for week number 1 for ECAC, this is best of 7. So that win there for the Eagles just simply puts them on to series point. Another game within the series, though, you can see the Eagles absolutely lighting up the net. 13 shots as opposed to the 4. That we did see from the Fighting Koalas here from Columbia College. This could very well be our final game of the series, depending on how things play out. Of course, this is only series 2 of 3 on the day over here on the Edgewood College Esports Twitch channel. Let's get down to it. Let's see if the Eagles have what it takes to wrap up this series. I feel like for the Eagles, if you find yourselves another early goal, all of a sudden the confidence from being able to win the last couple starts to set in that much more. Inversely, on the other side of the field, if the defense surrenders a goal early, I do think a little bit of doubt starts to creep into the back of the mind of the Fighting Koalas. Pass gonna be off to the middle. Timmy flicks up over one. Ooh, also got the touch over Zerks as well, but that touch ends up sailing it wide. Just imagine that would have been bearing into the back of the net. Would have been quite the replay. And what a goal here. First goal coming across. Gives them a little bit of a sense of comfort, knowing they're back in that driver's seat once more. Now can they hold the line for 3.5 minutes? Because 3.5 minutes is definitely a lot of time when it comes to Apex here. Now it's Slippery Noodle off the sidewall. Phantom wins the 50 to send it back towards the midfield line. Luckily, there's an additional player right there as far as the side of Western, or for the side of Edgewood. And Slippery Noodle is going to be able to find a second goal here as well. Starts off with Cato Lantern being able to jump off into the lane. Pass it to the teammate. It's 2-0 here. We joked about being able to keep the pace of a goal a minute. They are still able to continue keeping that up over the course of what we've had going on. It has to have the squad feeling good going into the third and final Rocket League matchup of the evening. Timmy looking for a pass up to, Slippery Noodle. I think was looking for a potential pass to the middle for Pink Cato Lantern. Rises up. And the pressure has just been so much here. Now finding a third goal as well. Look at that adjustment by Slippery Noodle in the air. Flexing on them. As it's now 3-0. And Columbia College just does not seem to have the answers. Boosh is going to be up in the sky, and now with 2 minutes left, you feel like from the side of Columbia College, it's now or never. You cannot afford too many more empty trips, and that's even if you're able to flip the pitch relatively quickly, because there's one thing that's been on point is the defensive rotations. But the defensive rotations don't matter when you have a nice passing play like we see here. Phantom moves it on up. Boosh passes it back to Phantom, who's already in the sky. And it's like poetry in motion. That's the first goal here for the Fighting Koalas. They need at least 2 more if they're going to force an overtime. And of course, if they do that, they also have to hold the line. But as quickly as they found one, they're just as easily able to find a second. Phantom with the pinch. We talked about how much time was on the clock, and they don't need none of it. This time, almost exactly off the kickoff. The slippery noodle is going to be able to find an answer here for Edgewood. As things were starting to look a little bit scary there for a moment. Now can Edgewood keep this lead once more? The Eagles technically shouldn't need to score anymore, as long as their defense can hold the line. Now going to be 60 seconds left on the clock. Timmy going to send this over towards the corner. Loses the 50 to Phantom. Now going to be able to get the touch, though, that sends it deep down over onto that opposite side of the field. I don't even know what to say to that one. Pink Cattle Lantern jumps up, takes the cookies, and dumps it in the milk in the other side of the field. And that goal there just might be the nail in the coffin. Just when it looked like the Fighting Koalas might have the ability to extend this series. It is the Eagles who have been able to truly catch their stride here late in the series. Maybe even one more for the road. Boom, there it is. As Pink Cattle Lantern absolutely styling on them. Now these last couple of seconds just going to be a mere formality. And it's interesting, right? In that first series of the day, over here on the Edgewood College Eagles esports program, we saw a sweep. This time around, not a sweep, but able to win 4 of 5 here as well. The Rocket League team definitely seems to be looking very, very strong. Of course, game 1, or I should say series number 1, maybe you could say, technical difficulties, playing with the sub, yada, 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 cope all you want or whatever, right? There's always going to be excuses. But in series number 2, Edgewood College just came out and they just played at a different level. At times, Columbia College was able to make some adjustments and keep things close for small bits of time during the series, right? Maybe 2-3 minutes at a time, but never for prolonged periods of time. And now for the Eagles, they've won a WEC matchup. They've won their kickoff matchup here for the ECAC as well. We said at the start of things, We had 3 matchups on the day, the third of which was a makeup from our game on Monday against NTC. So we're jumping back over to some more WEC action. Going to be back into that best of 5 deal. But that NTC matchup is going to be getting kicked off at the top of the hour. You happen to straggle on in here for your first time through over on the channel and you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that follow button down below. If you're enjoying the vibes, turn those notifications on. Because, of course, we got more than Rocket League that does go down over here on the channel. I know tomorrow as well, we got some Overwatch action. But we're not done yet tonight. So make sure you don't go nowhere. Maybe go grab yourself a quick drink, grab yourself a snack. But here at the top of the hour, best of 5 action against NTC to wind down our Wednesday. We'll be right back.
You've seen me here before, above the mountain tops. With every step I take, I show the world what I got. I feel alive again. I feel like it's a new chance, far from a wasteland. And I've got nowhere to be, so I'm waiting. I don't need a rush, I'm patient. However long it takes, I'll be there one day. Hey. Eternal, I'm alive and chasing whatever it is I'm facing. I can't walk away. There's so much left to say. Hey. Our story never has to end. Eternal, I'm alive again. We don't know what will happen tomorrow, but I hope a good surprise. I could flip all the time that I borrowed and make another life. You can break my stride. There's a palace in my mind, made of light, and it shows. Yeah, yeah. The stars are falling, skies are raining gold. Yeah, yeah. Forever I'm free, that's what could be. So I'm waiting. I don't need a rush, I'm
Won't you come over? Dying to know where you came from. We're breaking open. Feel like our future's just begun. And all I know is that we lost time. If we stay right here, we could free ourselves inside. We'll stay awake forever. We'll hide away where no one knows. Let's run away together. Just lead me into your world. We'll stay awake forever. We'll hide away where no one knows. Let's run away together on our own. Just lead me into your world. Waiting for no one. We're headed straight up for the sun. They'll never notice. We'll take these cities on our own. And all I know is that we lost time. If we stay right here, we could free ourselves inside. We'll stay awake forever. We'll hide away where no one knows. Let's run away together. Just lead me into your world. We'll stay awake forever. We'll hide away where no one knows. Let's run away together on our own. Just lead me into your world.
right, and we are back, getting ready to head back to the pitch here for our third series of the day over here with the Edgewood College Esports Twitch channel. And it's been a fun day thus far, man. We started off with some WEC action against UW Madison. That was a sweep. Honestly, the squad looked good. Um, I think we saw what the sub came across in game number 2 for UW Madison. We did see that as far as with the Eagles, they did a very good job of just being able to consistently pressure the net. And despite the fact that some adjustments were made by that UW Madison squad, again, even more so in game number 3, the Eagles still being able to find ways to outscore their opponents. Then we went over to the ECAC for our second matchup of the day. That was week number 1 action, kicking off the season for ECAC. I think it was game 1. Columbia College was able to take one of the first 2. And then after that, it was all Edgewood Eagles. I mean, those last couple of games, the offense looked very, very good. I do always have concerns, though, when we have longer nights like we do have here currently, getting ready for a third straight series. Good news is both of the series kind of on the shorter side compared to what they could have been. Of course, the sweep in series number 1, and for what was a best of 7 in series number 2, only requiring 5 of those games in order to be able to find a decision as well. But now we're going to be going into this third series. It's against NTC. And right now, when you look at NWEC play, the Eagles going to be sitting at 5-1 after the performance earlier. Got to be feeling comfortable, got to be feeling confident. Hopefully, they should be able to carry that over as far as from those last 2 games here. But y'all know how it goes, man. The first game can really be a indicator of if they can carry things over. For all we know, NTC comes out here and absolutely turns things around. It feels like over the course of the first 2 games, the one thing the Eagles have been able to do a very good job of is controlling the pace of the game. I wouldn't necessarily say that they're playing at this crazy fast pace, but it's a very disciplined and very deliberate pace. So if they can make sure that they're controlling the ball in a similar fashion here in this final series, wouldn't even be surprised if they find themselves a relatively quick result, similar to the way that we did see against that UW Madison series to start off our day. But I do see we're starting to get some players loaded on in here. We wanted to check in with you guys here real quick before we head into our last series of the day. I hope y'all are ready. Definitely feel free to let us know in the chat over on the side how many games you think this thing does go. I'm going to guess if you're over here hanging out with us, we're probably going to be expecting to see the Eagles pull off a third straight series win here. But with us getting ready to head into the series, before we hit to the pitch, once we get everybody set up on the field, we're going to be rolling things out for a best of 5 here. So we're going to go ahead and kick things over, get ready to head to the pitch shot. Looks like we've actually got everybody loaded on it. I was actually thinking about getting ready to send us to a break. We don't need one of those. Let's go ahead and get ready for game number 1. Edgewood's got to be feeling good. You figure between the 2 series, there's been, 8 games played? And they've walked away with 5 dubs out of those. And well, I haven't been keeping score close enough to think about the score differential, but they have been able to find some big wins. So let's get down to it. No more time to talk about it. Let's be about it. Pass all the way around. Everyone getting involved. And it takes just 7 seconds. A 1, a 2, a 3. And that's going to be a first goal against NTC as the Eagles take the lead. Seems like this go around out here on the pitch. One thing I've noticed, although it's only been 20 seconds of play, but controlling the field, controlling the boost has been the Eagles. And man, are they soaring high for now. A second goal that comes across in the opening 23 seconds of play. You know, as much as I was saying heading into this series about the concern with the longer night, the flip side of it is that at this point, they should be about as warmed up as you can get. Eight games of high quality action. I wouldn't say there have been too many big mistakes when it comes to rotations and passing and things like that, as we do see actually a passing play opening up and getting a third goal here in this first minute of this third series of the night. As a matter of fact, it's been a sense of consistency with the way that the Eagles have been playing. Not very often relying on individual skill or going for individual mechanic plays, although at times they have shown their prowess. But it's Timmy rising up, assistance from the top bar. No, not this time, but it's Pink Cat-O-Lantern off the rebound, and that is now 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them things in the opening minute and 21 seconds. An all-out blitzkrieg on the offensive side. NTC just has no answers. Back pass to themselves here by Pink Cat-O-Lantern. A little bit of mustard on it there. But it doesn't quite find its mark. And now it's just about wasting the time. The Hezi almost resulted in a wide open net. Second defender doing a great job rotating their way over though. Pass to the middle of the field this time around from NTC. Second player just a step too slow. The Eagles offense has been able to really flex here in this game. I mean, they have been the only ones that have really had the control of the ball. NTC sitting on 0 shots. First one comes across there. Slippery Noodle now going from one side of the field to the other. Unable to garner the control for a final flick up over the last defender. Pass over to Slippery Noodle. Up off the high part of the bar there, but inevitably, the demo slows down the attack as everyone's going to have to rotate back. Nutmeg is going to move this thing forward with one touch, but everything that we've seen from NTC thus far in the offensive half just been a step slow. A fifth goal, however, comes across relatively quickly, flipping the field here. A little bit of miscommunication between a few teammates here from NTC as well. 5-0, 90 seconds left on the clock here. Let's actually make it one going to find its way across here from NTC. Felt like it was inevitable. This one potentially being more of a cosmetic goal. I think what's important for the side of the Eagles is you cannot allow this squad from NTC to rebuild momentum heading into the break here. You've done a great job in the first 3 minutes. In the fourth, bit more control over on that blue side, but they're still spending a bunch of time here with their backs up against their own defensive wall. I think right now, if you are the Eagles, you got to be feeling relatively comfortable with the way this first game has gone. You got to ask yourself, though, what adjustments need to be made on the offensive half, because the defense seems to have found ways to slow you down. Naturally, as I talk about them getting slowed down, they're going to be able to find one more goal for the road here. The slippery Noodle and Timmy going to work together. But Edgewood take game number one. And another higher scoring game as well. "15 shots as a collective there for Edgewood, as opposed to just the lone 2 from NTC. Edgewood truly proving there in game number 1 that a good offense does make a great defense, right? I mean, NTC doesn't get very many looks at the net when they're constantly defending their own. Let's go ahead and roll those scores back to 0. We've got 5 minutes back on the clock here. So let's get down to it. You feel like if you are over on the side of NTC, you would like to find a lead and you would like to do so quickly. Of course, here early in game number 2, it is more pressure. Coming across from the Eagles. But the Eagles have been able to show this type of success in all 3 series really so far today. And it's the type of consistency that lets you know, hey, even if they don't score a goal in the opening 30 seconds, they're probably going to find it in the opening minute. Even if it's not the opening minute, at some point, some way, somehow, one of these 3 is going to punch it across the goal line. I think by saying one of the 3 is something that's worked very much in the benefit of this squad here today. This isn't a team that just relies on a lone conductor or a big hitter. The pop-off potential from all 3 players has most definitely been seen here today. Catalanner looking to gather the control, looking to try and find yet another goal here for Edgewood. Slippery Noodle up from around the midfield line. 90 seconds gone by in game number 2, and it's still just the lone goal. Fritzy looking to flip the field here. But like many other visits over onto that orange half, it's brief and not even a shot to show for it. Closing in on that 2 minutes gone by here in game number 2, and as much as you could maybe hang your head, or hang your hat, I should say, if you're NTC, on the fact that you've been able to hold Edgewood to 1 lone shot, one lone goal, you are getting outshot 6-0. NTC still struggling when it comes to just finding opportunities, let alone when it comes to finding results. Officially halfway through game number 2, though, it is just the 1 lone goal here for Edgewood, sitting with a 1-goal lead. Eagles have shown the ability to be comfortable, whether it's winning big or winning by a hair. And I feel like for them, probably feel like they're controlling the pace of this game pretty well, especially with the fact that NTC is still yet to record a shot 3 minutes into this thing. Now it's Pink Cat O'Lantern looking for the double tap. That would have been nice if they would have been able to find the adjustments there midair to get the touch they were looking for. But final 100 seconds of play to go here in game number 2, and Pink Cat O'Lantern going to be able to find a second goal. Saw the hands up on the player cams there. But that's going to be a security blanket here now for the Eagles. Oh, and a missed opportunity coming across from NTC. That's a big feels bad, bruh. Because you capitalize there, and then all of a sudden it's a 1-goal game. Can still potentially do that here. And Danube finds a way to punch it across. It's technically an own goal from Slippery Noodles. But of course the Eagles do still have the lead. 65 seconds left to play here now. Another story of efficiency, though, when we talk about NTC. They've got the 1 goal, only 1 shot. Only problem is they need to find some way to up the pressure. Find some way to get more opportunities. Timmy's going to be able to open things up on the backside here. And Pink Cat O'Lantern jumps the passing lane. Timmy gets the demo. And just like that, all of a sudden gonna be back up by 2. We saw this squad be able to find the sweep in WEC action to start off this triple header today. Could they potentially end off the stream in similar fashion? Slippery Noodle looking to get fancy with it, breaking out the protractor, not quite able to find the angle. Cat O'Lantern, left flick over 1. Last chance, ball left alive. Remember, once this ball does touch the ground though, we will officially be moving into game number 3. With the sweep possibility still on the table as Edgewood are going to take game number 2. And the big thing for me is yet another game where Edgewood able to pump that shot counter up to double digits. Yet NTC sitting on 1 lone shot. Yeah, it was a goal. But even if you're having 100% efficiency, you're going to need a lot more than 1 shot to beat this Edgewood squad. Exactly sure what the changes are that do need to be made. I do know one thing that seems to be working for Edgewood. 1, it's their defensive rotations, but 2, we've been seeing demos being able to buy room on the offensive half as well. Maybe NTC might be able to start there, but 5 minutes on the clock. Let's get down to it. Pink Cat O'Lantern picks the pocket. Shot opportunity, and everyone getting involved. 8 seconds in. Pink Cat O'Lantern to Slippery Noodle to Timmy. As the Edgewood Eagles take the lead, put themselves in the driver's seat once more in game number 3. Gotta imagine with finding themselves a lead relatively quickly and then being able to find a second just as easy as that, this Eagles squad has got to be feeling good. NTC has to find some way to hit a 180 here. You gotta turn it around and you gotta do it quick. Who knows though, maybe for this Eagles squad, we see the game plan change a little bit. Now that it's a multi-goal lead, maybe now instead of trying to push forward and get more pressure, it truly does become just about burning time. But it doesn't take much time for Danube to be able to open things up for NTC. One goal lead here for now for the Edgewood Eagles. Meg, a big shot from distance. Is that past Timmy? It is. That's just in. And back-to-back goals are going to tie this thing up. Cattle Lantern looking to drop it up and over. Finds a way to get over one defender, under another. Pink Cattle Lantern gets the assistance from the opposition. Oh no, technically an own goal. You can see the laughs on the player cams. They're definitely feeling good here for the Eagles. But can they now sustain the lead? NTC have technically scored more in this game than we've seen anywhere else. There's the demo to try and lead the way for the shot opportunity, but not quite able to finish. Slippery Noodle waiting for a bump to come across the goal line that was never delivered. Pink Cattle Lantern says, talk about a delivery. I'm gonna slot it right there. And we're 90 seconds into game number 3. And the sweep looking more and more likely. Timmy's gonna gather this thing in the air, and remember at this point here now, when we talk about for the Eagles, you got that 2-goal lead built back up. You can kind of just feel confident and comfortable keeping the ball down here on this blue half. It is something that we've seen them do before here in the evening. Maybe something that I would do cautiously here, because the last thing that you want to do is let your foot off the gas and let this NTC squad back into this game, which could inevitably lead back into this series. We are now officially halfway through game number 3. And it's still twice the score here for Edgewood as opposed to NTC. I always love seeing the aggressive play. Slippery Noodle finds the couple ammo 1-to-1. But no touch, no control to follow it up. Another minute gone by and it's still just a 2-goal game. But of course, when I say 2-goal game, I don't know how often we've seen this Edgewood squad concede 4 or more goals, which is what's going to be required to, at minimum, force an overtime. Especially as they've continued to kind of keep this ball pressed forward. but the NTC defense just does not seem to have an answer. Yeah, they've at times been able to slow down the offense, but they've never been able to completely stifle the offense. And not only that, but they haven't been able to find a way to put the ball in their offense's hand by getting it down the field. "65 seconds here left, and I do know that there are some of those believers out there who like to count on that 10-second rule, so the math not completely improbable. Well, improbable would probably be the word. Impossible, though, it is not. Although mathematically starting to get closer there, as we've got 40 seconds left here for now. And in this third series, similarly to the way that we've seen in our first two series of the day, the big thing that the Eagles were able to do well was just keep the control. It's hard to score on a team when their offense has the ball. Nice play here as Timmy rises up, lets one defender go on by, and then just scoops it on off to Slippery Noodle, who has an easy one there to send it home. So when you look at on the day completely here for the Edgewood Eagles, 11 games played, 10 of which you walk away victorious. That's a pretty darn good night of Rocket League right there, if I can say so myself. Kind of a quick review as far as how the night went. We did have two separate WEC games. The first one was against UW Madison, and that one was a sweep at the top of the things here tonight. Then we did kick off our action for ECAC against Columbia College. Columbia College was able to take a game, but that was it. In that best of 7 action, it only took 5 games for the Eagles of Edgewood to be able to walk away victorious. And then just as we saw there against NTC, they're able to walk away with the sweep once more. So a double serving of sweeps when we talk about WEC action. And again, like I said, 10 games out of 11. That's pretty darn impressive, if I may say so myself. The squad looks good here, man. Again, I think the big thing for me that I really enjoyed being able to watch the Eagles tonight is they don't just rely on the individual player, the mechanics. They definitely get the ball moving, and they're able to keep some good, consistent pressure in that offensive half as well. That is going to do it as far as for Rocket League here for the evening. But we do have more Edgewood College esports. It's going to be streamed right here on the Twitch channel later this week. So if you guys want to make sure that you are back around for Overwatch tomorrow, going to be starting at 7 p.m., make sure you're hitting that follow button down below and turning the notifications on as well. Got to give a big shout out to Coach Paisley in the back, working production as well as working kind of with the students and everything as well. Kind of wearing a couple of hats. And of course, as well, got to make sure we got to give a big shout out to all 3 of our players who put on a darn good show tonight. And of course, big shout out to you guys who are tuning in over here on Twitch. So we catch y'all back over here for the next one, though, man. Don't forget, with everything crazy going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere, game hard and love hard. All right, y'all. Again, we'll catch y'all back here tomorrow for Overwatch, 7 p.m. It's your boy Q.